I like it. It looks fresh, but how are we not going to put a crab, or how are we not going to put the best looking flag out there, the Maryland flag, incorporated in the City Connects? They're City Connects. Put the Maryland flag in there. Put a crab in there. Put my logo on there. What's going on here? We got Aaron Judge destroying stadiums. He should be arrested, first of all. If everyone at BTL chat, Tail and the Squad Ride, we'll break you guys out of prison later. This guy's cheated multiple times in the past, gotten caught for it. He's actually a human trash can. This dude is the scum on the bottom of your shoe. That guy goes park to park, stadium to stadium, a grown-ass man with a baseball glove, like he's playing in the game, taking home runs from kids, not giving little man the respect he deserves. What a loser.
They're watching me flourish, I'm watching them run. Damn. Brand new bag for pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying.
What's going on, ladies and gents? Happy BTL Friday, episode 263 piece. Hold the fry, as always, joined by your guys, Krabs and Javon. And we've got some work to do today, my man, after yesterday's squad ride. My goodness.
That we do.
It might have been the worst bet ever.
I mean, the funny thing is we still got, like 6 scoreless innings out of that game or something. It's just Domingo was terrible.
I bet. Yeah, bad read by us, man. He was atrocious.
Yeah.
Throwing BP.
Pretty much.
My goodness. Chat, hope you guys enjoyed the draft last night. Maybe the worst draft broadcast of all time, but cool to see who we're getting in the draft. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, that broadcast was terrible. It was hard to watch.
I mean, we'll go over that in a little bit, but plenty to touch on today, chat. We've got LSU legacies to go over from last night. Looks like they're playing Florida starting tomorrow in the College World Series. We've got NBA draft recap going over the bets, which teams won, which teams lost. And we've got, obviously, MLB slate, squad ride, prize picks, okay? Plenty to do today. Most importantly, the squad rides. We're 2-2 this week. Have to end the week in the positive. If we go 3-2 every week, we're making money. All right, but let's be better. And let's end the week strong with a winner, Javon. Why not us?
Got to.
Sure. And we're going to talk about your guy, McClanahan, as well on the Rays today a little bit. I don't know if he's banged up or not, but saw he got pulled out of that game. So we'll talk about that when we get to the Rays. Javon, you're in your fit, looking like you're about to go to the park.
Yep.
They might need some ABs.
Yeah, I mean, I got my
Wander's getting suspended. They might need to put you in there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I got my glove ready to go to the park and everything. We're locked in.
Sure. Well, no need to bring that glove. Remember, you're not on the team. All right, chat, remember that. If you ever think about bringing a glove to the game, just remember you're not playing in it. You're actually just a fan. Grab a beer, grow up. Okay? Javon, LSU last night, I mean, that is why we love college baseball. And I know we don't care about college baseball until we get to the tournament pretty much. Nothing we can do about that. I'm not watching regular season baseball. I'm watching MLB. Give me a break. But we've gotten to this point. There's been so many good games. Last night, we saw the total in that game open up at 11 briefly. My goodness, that was a shit line. Ended up reopening at 7.5, Javon, and that game went 0-0 into extras yesterday.
Yeah.
My goodness. We'll talk about the Trey Morgan play and show you guys here. I mean, this was just insane. This game, for it to be 0-0, the amount of plays that were made in the fields, and I know both guys dealt, don't get me wrong. Both guys absolutely dealt. Both starters, those are two of the best pitchers in college baseball, have to be, right? Yeah. My goodness. And this is the wrong clip, I think. I might have put the wrong clip in there. Definitely did. That is the Josh Donaldson clip going over the squad rides. So it's hard to hit squad rides, chat, when Josh Donaldson's throwing the ball around the field. But let's pivot to Trey Morgan's Derek Jeter play. This was insane. Also, I don't know why we're bunting here, but it is what it is. Did not work. Suicide squeeze. What a fucking play, Javon. Full speed. Full speed, flips it out of his glove in an instant. We get the tag down. They challenged it. Call stood. My goodness. Absolutely electric. And then they bring up, what do they call this guy? Tanks? Tommy Tanks. Tommy Tanks, after the best player in baseball, best position player in baseball, gets a leadoff hit in the bottom of the 10th or bottom of the 11th here. And Tommy Tanks' first pitch, they put in a new reliever. There it goes. See. I mean, electric factory. Down goes Wake Forest. The number one seed, once again, doesn't even get to the championship, Javon. I swear this curse might be more impactful than the NHL one. This is crazy.
Yeah, just might.
The one seed never would. Like, if at this point, you don't even want to be the one seed. Start losing games at the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean,
goodness.
I'm not going to act like Wake Forest was not fantastic the entire, postseason here. But with as dominant as they were in the regular season, there's a reason why, I always harped on it so much that this trend was going to continue. It's just it was too easy for them to get to the championship in the first place and to win it. So, I mean, I'm not incredibly shocked they got taken down by a really good LSU team and Paul Skeens in an elimination game.
My goodness. Speaking of Skeens, I mean, this guy looks like an exact replica of Steven Strasburg. He's got his same arsenal, same stuff, same build, same aura. I don't know what it is, but the guy's unhittable. He's throwing 100. He's got a nasty slider. He's got a nasty changeup. I know Strass threw the curve, but the changeup, man. I haven't seen a changeup drop off the table like that since the Nats had the number one overall pick back in, 2009 when we took Strasburg. And this guy, another 120 pitches on the arm, Javon, and he could probably go out there and pitch tomorrow if he needed to.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to see him at some point in the finals.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to be a great series. But he looks absolutely unreal. Probably a future Pittsburgh Pirate at that one spot there. But
you think he's going to go number one now?
I mean, I always thought he was going to go number one.
Okay.
It's really between him and his teammate, Dylan Cruz. But, I mean, I think the Pirates would go with Skeens. It's really, really hard not to. But he's absolutely incredible.
Well, I hope he falls because I want him to be a national. I do. We'll see. Not going to be easy. I don't know how teams watch this guy absolutely deal, though, at this point and not take this kid number one. I don't care about his mechanics and people talking about his risk to get injured. This guy hasn't gotten hurt once, knock on wood. I mean, I'm jinxing his entire career here with that line, but he just went out there and dealt for 120 pitches and looked like he could have gone out there for another inning if he needed to. This guy's built different. I would want this guy on my team tomorrow. And he's one of the guys that would probably just even skip the minors or maybe go for half a season, but he's pretty much pro ready. I mean, with that stuff, you make a couple starts in Double-A, you call this kid up right away. Give me a break.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a beast. Absolute beast. And Javon, we talked about it last night. I bet that kid on Wake Forest is eating his words after that post-game presser. My goodness. We'll show the clip. We'll play the sound.
It seems pretty much impossible. Who can beat us? It seems
Who can beat us? Who can beat us? LSU can beat you. They just did. Unbelievable.
That's
what
tough.
were you thinking saying that?
Yeah, I mean,
That's worse than a Trent jinx.
Yeah, that's worse. I mean, you already had the overall 1 seed, and you're going into the semis, not even the championships here, and you beat a team once, and you have to play them 2 times again. I mean, it's written in the stars out of there, and it's not exactly out of context. That's exactly what was said. But yeah, it's not the first time Tommy Tanks has gotten the best of him. Happened.
Yeah, is this the kid who went in and gave up that home run walk off?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he gave up the walk-off to Tommy Tanks. So,
holy smokes! I didn't know that was the kid who went in and pitched. Karma's a bitch, isn't it?
It was written in the stars after that was said, for sure.
Yeah, baseball gods don't like that.
Not one bit. I don't know what we're doing dropping that line.
Okay. Chad, if you guys are trying to tap into the College World Series, they got the final starting up tomorrow night. Game 3 on Sunday. And game 2 on Sunday and game 3 on Monday if needed, 7 p.m. Tomorrow, game 1, minus 110 for both teams to win the College World Series. So it seems like a coin flip here, Javon. Any lean? I mean, I'm obviously sticking with my Tigers. I got a future on them pre-tournament.
Yeah, I'm going with the Gators.
Okay.
I think at this point, I think they certainly have the arms advantage going into this series. They did also unfortunately take a TCU and won, which was unfortunate.
Yeah,
so they're a little more rested. You're definitely going to see like Paul Skeens in the back end of the series, whether he has to pitch in game 2 for a little bit, or if they get to a game 3, you get a little more of an extending outing with him. But I just think that Florida team has the look right now, and it's hard to say LSU doesn't. The way they rallied to beat one of the most dominant teams that we've seen in a couple of years, 2 straight games. But Florida, that lineup is just so deep right now, and I think they take it.
Okay. Right is wrong. Coming in with a sub bang. Need some winners. We got you, brother. Don't you worry. We're going to go over some MLB stuff here in a minute. Got to finish up the draft talk, though, because although it was a terrible broadcast and almost put me to sleep and the longest freaking draft of all time, and I was up till 12:30 just trying to keep my eyes open because the freaking commentary was so boring, and half the picks in the second round were during fucking commercials. It was so ridiculous. G. Fernandez coming in with a sub bang, though. W's. Love it. W behind the federal prison, I bet, brother. I bet. Hopefully we're heading there today after a squad ride W. But Javon, whether the broadcast was shitty or not, the NBA draft is still fun, especially for guys like me who are unfortunately Wizards fans. And also, I've been seeing people on the feed saying they don't even know Wizards fans or nobody's even seen Wizards fans before. Is this a bit? Is this a thing? I'm in D.C., so I'm obviously biased, and I see plenty of Wizards fans, at least a couple. Have you ever seen a Wizards fan in your life, Javon? Is that just an East Coast thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't say I've seen too many. A lot of the people that I know growing up was Wizards fans because of John Wall. They're just big time John Wall hoop guys. But other than that, I haven't met many. I'll be honest.
No, they don't exist. But Javon, the Wizards had a great draft. We're not going to talk about that the whole time, though. Let me know what you thought. We'll put up the recap here. Some winners, some losers of the draft, some picks you like, some picks you didn't. Just dive in and give us a little bit of an assessment here post-draft.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns on Anthony Black to the Magic. I think that was a fantastic pick for them. Of course, they took Jet Howard too, who is also my guy, who I thought was going to have a pretty – I didn't think he was going to go that high, but I thought he was going to get a little like higher teens because of his shooting ability, who I think he's going to be really good. Leonard Miller didn't even go in the first round, so that was nice. That was a sweat-free bet. But Anthony Black, I think, is huge for that backcourt for a lot that he does. Disappeared right now, but a lot that he does in that backcourt. I think he provides size. I think he's going to provide shooting. I think that he's going to continue progressing in that area, and the fact that they were just rim running at Arkansas kind of masked the potential that he had shooting. And I think they just need that defensive dog in a lot of the Magic backcourt. And I think he gives them pretty much everything. So I love that pick there. Magic are definitely one of my big winners for this draft for sure.
Okay. Shout out the Magic. Shout out Brandon Miller for going second the whole time and us getting absolutely deked out by Shams, who works for FanDuel. Could that have been an inside job, Javon? What the fuck was that?
Could have been. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy that they're just allowed to do that, being partnered with the book there. So that was interesting. I'll say that. But yeah, I still think the Hornets will regret passing on Scoot Henderson. Not that I think Brandon Miller is obviously a bad prospect or anything. He's super talented, KD like, Paul George like, whatever you want to talk about. But Scoot Henderson, while he may not be the best fit in that system, I think his ceiling is just a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean, the pick obviously tells you where the team is right now with the Trailblazers, right? Drafted a guy who plays the same position as Dame. They had to go out and get the best available player. They had to do what was best for the organization and not what was the best to pair with Dame and make him happy, because at the end of the day, he's going to leave if he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm so done with hearing the Dame drama. It's like a shitty relationship that you see your buddy in for 2 years and he bitches about it every night. And you're like, dude, why are you still dating? You know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
Either go or stop bitching. I don't get it. We've got a sub bang from Chase Breedlove to Mia Khalifa. W's. Let's freaking go. Rumor has it Jordan Poole might lead the NBA in scoring this year if we get Mia Khalifa out to the game in a jersey like in this tweet I'm about to show. Bang. Sure. All-time tweet from NBA memes. Predict Jordan Poole's stats with the Wizards. Well, if she's in attendance, you could probably mark him down for a 40-piece. Okay? All jokes aside, though, I mean, Jordan Poole might actually lead the NBA in scoring.
He just might.
He might, just because the rest of the team is so bad and he's going to be getting the shots in.
Yeah, I mean, he's that's going to be probably pretty disastrous at times, him running the point, controlling that offense. But we'll see. I think he needs a Tyus Jones there, which they have. So we'll see how that works out together.
Tyus Jones. I guess we can get the Wizard stuff over with now. Josh, we'll skip a couple tweets. But Trace Jackson Davis, RIP. He was a Wizard for about 5 minutes. And unfortunately, he's going to Golden State. Probably fortunately. We don't really need him, and I don't really know how his game's going to transition to the NBA. He can't really shoot. And you saw 3 of the best players in college basketball, Sonogo, Shibwe, and Timmy, all go undrafted because they can't really shoot. And the NBA is changing. It's not rocket science. 5 or 10 years ago, those guys are going top 10. All 3 of them probably. Straight up. The game has changed. Trace Jackson Davis, we have no need for him. Golden State probably does. Maybe they're not bringing back Draymond, and they're going to use Trace as a little bit of a replacement. Trace is already kind of ready to roll. He's not really going to get any better. We already know kind of what he is, and you can kind of just plug and play. That's why I was so confused when I saw the Wizards draft him. I'm like, we don't need this guy right now. Going to Golden State makes a lot more sense. He's ready to play day one. Not saying he's going to be as good as Draymond. I don't even know he's going to be good, but now it makes a whole lot more sense that he's going to Golden State.
Yeah, and I mean, I really like him in that system too. I think he's going to be fantastic there. It's a pretty ideal landing spot for him, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll show the Sonogo, Shibwe, and Timmy tweet. I mean, this is just crazy. Sonogo, Final Four MVP. Shibwe, Player of the Year last year. Timmy, first-team All-American. Nobody drafted. They all got picked up, I believe. I think they've all been signed by now. We knew that was going to happen, but
yeah,
it's so crazy. We're in just a different time.
Yeah, and I mean, there's definitely like faults with a lot of these guys. So it's like their transition to the NBA level. Like, I have I don't want to say a serious problem, but I mean, my massive concern that I'm sure a lot of teams share, like with Oscar Shibwe, for example, is I don't think his offensive game is polished enough to transition to the NBA level. Like, I think he's going to struggle for a little bit there. His physicality, rebounding skills are probably going to translate, but that's what's probably going to keep him out of, rotational minutes. Probably the similar type thing with Adama Sonogo, and then it's kind of the inverse for Drew Timme. So polished offensively, but the physicality's not really there against bigger guys that you're going to see in the paint. The rebounding is not really there in the same facet as either of these two guys. So, like, I can understand why a lot of these guys didn't get drafted. It is just tough to see how talented they were in the college stage, and they're not getting the name called yesterday.
Yep. Sonogo's going to the Bulls. All right, all these guys already got signed. And shout out, who was it? The 76ers, who had the legacy post-draft of the night. I mean, Javon, they got every good player left. There was a ton of good talent left after the draft. I'm not going to lie. Guys like Ricky Council. We'll pull up the Shams tweet. Ricky Council they picked up. Azuolas Tubelis, who I think might be a beast in a couple of years, probably going to take some time. And Terquavion Smith, who's a fucking bucket. Absolute microwave. I mean, Javon, they cleaned up shop after the draft. They might not have done much during it, but afterwards they signed some dogs.
Yeah, their summer league team is going to be interesting. See how many of those guys that they can keep.
Yeah,
But, they scooped up everybody. That was crazy.
good move. It's like they had their own draft after the draft. They
Yeah,
had all these
pretty much.
great players. One of these dudes is going to end up handing out at least. But I'm high on pretty much all three of these dudes. I wanted the Wizards to take the Bullets. But we got our own Joker 2.0, who we're going to talk about in a little bit. Mavericks got Mike Miles and Jelly Walker. How about that?
Beautiful.
W's. You guys get to go see him play.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be
Thoughts
great.
on that? Are they going to get any PT? Are they going to be G League guys? What do we think?
I mean, yeah, there's probably going to be a two-way
Two ways.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think. And I think it's probably best for their developments, too. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike, if he ends up actually signing with them on a two-way deal for the season, as a back end of the bench guy. But I would probably like to see him in the G League. Same with Jelly Walker. I want to see them move up a little bit down there. But super exciting. Yeah, I was hoping he got his name called yesterday, but didn't. But I'm glad he landed over here in Dallas. Stay home.
W's. Yep, coming home. Awesome. And we're going to talk about this guy the Wizards got, because I had no freaking idea who he was, Javon, but Vukcevic, who apparently is kind of a hothead, not a big effort guy over there. Apparently he snuck away from the team to come over here and do the combine or whatever this was. And he absolutely balled out in the combine games. He tweaked, and that's why his stock was rising, and we ended up picking him in the 40s. The last time no-name big man center got drafted around the 40 range, Javon, was Nikola Jokic. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Probably a little
He's
too much
pretty
over the last month, unfortunately.
But this kid, I mean, I'm not saying this kid's going to be him or that he's going to be any type of player like Jokic, who is unbelievable. But he plays the same way, and we finally drafted a European guy who can shoot the ball, which I like, because you need to shoot the ball in the hoop to win games, and we don't keep picking guys like that. We pick guys like Denny, who literally can't shoot. So I'm happy with this pick. I think this guy might be a stud. We got to buy his contract out, but he literally snuck away from the team to do the combine, and he wants to come over and play next year. I'm stoked. He might end up being a freaking beast, a guy we've never even heard of. Wizards and Patrick Baldwin. You're getting Patrick Baldwin there at the end of the draft. A kid who's got a ton of potential, was one of the highest regarded prospects coming out of high school when he went to college, went to University of Milwaukee to play under his dad. That was a shit show. That didn't work. Team sucked. He was hurt. Was on Golden State last year. Didn't do much, but I'm happy we got him. New Wizards GMs for taking a bunch of long shots, right? Throwing a bunch of darts and trying to hit one with one of these, random ass young dudes like Bilal, Vukovic, and hopefully one of them pan out, because we're not winning a championship next year anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you might as well experiment with the roster they got.
PBJ, sure.
PBJ.
And yeah, people forget Bertans literally got traded. The team who traded him to get 2 picks back in the draft. They moved back 2 picks just to get rid of Bertans' contract.
Yeah.
That's how shitty he is.
They had to.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, it's
unbelievable, chat.
And then they traded back up so they could get Rashawn Holmes and use their trade exception and kind of do the same thing.
I bet.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll see how the Lively pick plays out. I'm not really sold on him, but who knows? Yeah, Bilal under 11.5 was free. I hope that made up a little bit for the atrocious squad ride, and we got hella sub bangs. John Big Nut Peters coming in hot, 11 months. Let's go, my man. Big Matty Mark coming in with a sub bang. Bang! We got a hype train, and we got Len Bong giving out a sub bang to the community. W's. DeGen coming in with a 5-piece. Hold the fry.
Beautiful.
W's DeGen. Thank you, brother. Got distracted with Chase's Mia Khalifa sub. That's my bad, gents. That's my bad. Matt coming in with a sub bang. Let's freaking go, boys. It's Friday. Vibes are up. You guys know we're hitting the squad ride today. We're going to dive into MLB here in a minute. Did you guys see that Bilal took a number 8 when he went 7 just to get traded to 8? Yeah. I mean, look, I did a whole write-up about it talking about Bilal going to the Wizards at 8. I had a sprinkle on Bilal going 8th overall. And what do you know? We trade up to 7 because apparently a lot of teams, Javon, were looking to get him. This kid's stock was rising through the roof over the last couple of weeks. And the Wizards went out and made a move. I'm in on these new execs. They're actually doing shit. This is cool. W's. I'm happy with the draft. That's enough Wizards talk. All right. Real quick, though, before we go to MLB, we have to bring this up. I mean, Javon, if you're JJ Redick and you're sitting there and some chick goes, you were an average shooter back in your day. I know I wouldn't have the freaking self-control to hold back and just take that like JJ did. Props to him. But
Yeah,
Javon,
he's a better man than me.
what are we doing, man? And Chad, we'll play the clip. Listen up.
An average shooter in your career, right? Because it's hard to do. It's so hard, right? That's why you just.
Is that a serious question?
That's why you had a hard time, right? Right? But JJ, you were
What?
an average
Was it a
shooter
bit?
in your career, right? Because it's hard.
That had to be
It's
like
so hard, right?
trolling
That's why
or
you
like
were.
scripted or planned or
That's why you had a
something,
hard
because if it
time,
wasn't,
right? But
she probably shouldn't be hosting the NBA draft.
I hope so.
AJ Redick was one of the best three-point shooters of his generation. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope it was just a joke. I would err on the side that it is, but I mean, regardless, this is just one of the parts of the draft that was just so tough to watch, and frankly, she was one of the main reasons for it. But
I mean, I'll tell you what, Javon, next year, I'm not watching shit. I'm checking the draft on my phone. And also, are we going to talk about all the stupid trades that happened during the draft? Okay, when the NFL has trades during the draft, they switch the freaking name of the team in the draft spot. And when the kid gets picked, you can clearly tell what team he gets drafted to. I swear to God, last night, there were 4 or 5 times when a kid got drafted somewhere, and I'm talking about how he'll be a good fit there or wherever. And next thing you know, I figure out that the pick got traded and nobody even found out about it because the kid's wearing the same team hat who I thought he got traded from. Why is he wearing the original team hat? He's not going there. The whole thing was just a mind fuck. And I'm out.
it's
was
tough. I
atrocious.
mean, that like doesn't necessarily have to do with the broadcast or something like that necessarily. That's just like stupid rules of the NBA because like no trades can become final until like after the fact. So like in the moment, they can still like not end up being traded if they really want.
Is that why they do that? Because it's not
That's
officially official yet? Is that
Yeah,
why?
it's not officially official until like after the draft and it's officially like filed with the league. So like that's why they do it the way they do. That doesn't really have to do with the broadcast. It's just stupid NBA rules. It's like I wish they did it more like the NFL did it. That would make it so much easier. But
I shouldn't have to freaking crunch numbers to figure out where these guys are getting picked. Let's just put it up on the screen, boys, and let's get the kid the right hat. Come on now.
yeah, pretty
Come on.
much.
I forget who it was, but whoever the Mavs drafted or fake drafted, and then the point guard ended up going somewhere else. His name's slipping me right now, but I talked about, Casey Wallace. Talked about for like 5 minutes with my roommates. I'm like, he's going to be a freaking dog with Luka. He's not going there. Waste of time, waste of words.
Yeah.
Straight up. I'm out. I'll be checking the draft on my phone next year. Holy shit. All right, chat. You guys ready to go over some MLB winners? We still got an hour left. W's. Let me know in chat real quick as we're wrapping up the draft talk. What team do you think won the draft? Who had the best draft? Is it Spurs automatically? Are you guys Wemby believers? I don't know if I'm fully a Wemby believer yet. I need to see it before I believe it. Kind of like when Luka came over, I was like, I've never seen this kid play. I'm not going to act like he's Jesus Christ yet. Well, turns out he kind of is, and now I'm all in. I need to see this kid play for a minute. Who had the best draft, chat? Some Rockets talk, Houston talk, Hornets talk.
No, I don't
Bulls.
think it's getting enough talk for having a really good draft. Pacers.
What'd you like about their picks?
I mean, like going in, it was kind of similar to the Magic, and like I was high on the guys they selected prior to it. But I mean, Ben Shepherd and Jarrett Walker, I think it fit so perfectly, and I'm so excited to see those guys play because they're so versatile, and like that fits perfectly in that system with Halliburton and everybody there, with Miles Turner if he stays there too. I think it's going to be super, super exciting. And yeah, Isaiah Wong second round is a nice shooter to potentially have off the bench too. So I mean, I really love what they did.
Yeah, how about Ben Shepherd, the Belmont kid, going that early? I mean, he's a bucket. Anybody who's watched him play knows that. But holy smokes, first round, that was out of nowhere. And how about Maxwell Lewis from Pepperdine? Who we've been gassing this kid up since before last college basketball season. And he goes to the Lakers? I mean, could not ask for a better freaking situation for the kid.
Yeah.
He's going to be awesome.
I know. I'm excited to see him too. I mean, the Lakers clearly went with some high ceiling guys, if Max Lewis and Jalen Hood for Shavino there. So I'm definitely excited to see how they play alongside some of those other young guys there.
Cavs.
Yeah.
Cavs. Yeah, we'll see how Amani pans out. High risk, high reward pick.
Yeah,
High risk, high reward pick.
I don't know if I like him with the Cavs. To be honest.
Okay. Dubs chat. We move. We've got MLB to talk about. All right, boys. Seth Lundy going to be underrated. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think my sleeper pick, my guy who I think is going to ball the most out of nowhere is probably Maxwell Lewis. Anybody who knows ball knows that's not that hard to take, though. That kid is raw, so athletic. If he can just get more consistent with his shot, he's gonna be a stud. And pairing him with LeBron, give me a break, dude.
Yeah.
Give me a break. All right, boys. Yeah, Ken Whitmore slid, bad call. Gigi Jackson slid, bad call by me there, Chad. Not our best day on the NBA draft board. Not our best day. All right, we're bouncing back today, though. Let's hop into talking about the Rays. First game of the day today, Javon. Facing Greinke. Are you guys going to put up a 10-piece against this guy or what?
Nah, I don't think so. I think they'll win this game, but it'll be kind of lower and slower than yesterday necessarily. We saw a bunch of runs, especially after Shane got hurt. That kind of heated up the bullpen, which has been terrible. Same for the Royals. They got their bullpen guys and they got shelled. So I don't think we see that today, assuming there's no injury of the starting pitcher. I think it's going to be a Rays squeak this one out like a 4-2 type game.
Okay. Well, speaking of your Rays and starting pitchers getting hurt, you see that clip of Shane last night trying to stay in that game?
Yeah, I did. It seemed overly precautionary from Kevin Cash because, they showed that his velo was down, his spin rate's down. The guys, called from the analytics department or whatever. So he's being pretty conservative, which I can be absolutely okay with long term, especially we're before the All-Star break. But definitely sucked to get seeing him taken out. Kind of sucked. So hoping he's all right, but optimistic for sure.
Okay. You could see if the clip runs back here in the beginning, the first thing he says to the coaches, he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, "What the fuck are you doing out here?"
Yeah, he was confused.
I'm fine. He was so pissed. He might not even noticed his velo was down straight up. Like he probably did, but he might not have even noticed and was like, "What are you guys doing? Why is the doctor out here?"
Yeah.
Also, I feel like every MLB doctor is the same. They're all just a big white chunky bald dude with glasses.
Yeah, they all
just have 30 of them.
All look pretty similar.
Unbelievable. Well, I hope he's okay. I think he is. Probably just precautionary. What's going on with Wander, though? He got suspended?
Yeah, I mean, they're just sitting him because he was bitching or something. He's at a.
Have you heard anything about what's going on? They said clubhouse stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he just came on, and after some games where he'd struggle, he'd go in and throw shit, pouting, typical kind of young guy behavior. So I don't think it's really something that's that significant. I think it's a little overblown, but I'm excited to see him come back, which I guess will be tomorrow.
No, that was last year, Moody.
Yeah, that was last year with Yandy.
Damn, maybe he's a shithead kind of. That's beat.
Yeah, I think he's just young. People forget how young he is, so he'll figure it out.
We'll give him a benefit of the doubt. We'll give him a break.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Okay. All right. He's young. He's a beast. It'll be fine. Where did Khalifa end up? He transferred. Where did he go to, Javon? Shit. Where did Mia Khalifa's brother transfer to?
Stumps me.
Why can't we remember? He is going to BYU. Yep. Because I remember that because it made the joke even funnier. He's going to BYU. Dubs, Mormontown, I bet. Sure. All right, Javon, what's the play in this game? Gun to your head.
Gun to my head. It's probably Rays -1.5.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll probably be a single swing's going to take you there.
Okay. Now let's talk about Atlanta and Cincy here. A little bit of a better game to bets. Javon, talked about it all week. I'm betting the Reds until they lose, and then we get a matchup against the Braves. And the Braves are also on their streak of their own. And we'll show this staff from ESPN. Pretty freaking cool. Both these teams are on absolute fire. Two of the hottest, best teams in baseball. Now the Giants lost last night 10-0. I freaking bet. Blake's not out. Friday will be the third time in the last 100 years where teams start a head-to-head series on win streaks of 8+ games. Absolutely electric. Absolutely electric. These teams are on fire, Javon. Not ideal for my Reds game plan right now, betting them every game. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to go back to the Reds ML again today. I don't give a hoot. Total's up. Total's up. You like the over in that game too?
Yeah, I think this is a series of all overs. I think every game goes over, to be honest with
Okay.
you. It's going to be square. It's going to be popular, whatever. I think this went down from 11.5, which an 11.5 opener, I know it's Great American Ballpark, but rarely do you ever see that. I don't think you've seen that at all this season, which is crazy. And I like the over because I do think that the Reds stay in this game with their bats, but I don't see a situation where the Braves don't put up 7. That's what I would think. Because I was looking at because Luke Weaver's been one of the couple of sore spots in their rotation for the Reds. He's been terrible. He's been getting barreled up to shit. Braves against righties in June. I was looking at some of the numbers. First in ISO, first in slugging, fourth in RDIP percentage, first in home run per fly ball rate, fifth in walk rate, which is important for Weaver because not necessarily that he walks many guys, but for a guy who doesn't, he has a lack of command, so he just throws stuff over the plate. So they're going to destroy Luke Weaver. I don't think there's a question about that. I like their team total over. If people really don't want to back the Reds or if they just want to go with the game over, but I think he gets crushed. And if you need any hope of the Reds staying in this game, they're going to have to drop 8 or 9 or something. I think it's going to have to be like the comeback game that they had against the Dodgers in that series where they walked it off with Will Benson. So I like this over a lot.
Okay, I like the over as well. If you feel strongly about that compared to a side here, I'd be happy with going with that if we get to that point for the squad run. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a home run derby this weekend in Great American Ballpark.
Menace, bro, what is your Twitter name? I was trying to find you yesterday. DM us again or let me know what your name is on Twitter so I can find your DM, bro. I got you today. All right. SGP for this game. Well, maybe not an SGP for this game, but maybe we take a peek at the home run odds real quick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're always weird in Great American Ballparks. They're
Right.
ridiculously low for a reason.
Well, who is weirdly low?
I don't think anybody's
More.
weirdly low because you can't really point out one guy and say they're weirdly low because everybody's low. I mean, Matt Olson's plus 170, but Marcell Ozuna's plus 215. I mean, they're all collectively ridiculously low. I saw Ronald Acuna is 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs minus 150 to the over or something crazy. So I mean, my guy out of this would probably be Marcell Ozuna for the Braves. He's probably my favorite matchup there. I think he can be fine squaring up and going Acuna as well. But I don't think he can go wrong many places in this game. And yeah, Olson has a lot of props up too. I would have loved if he had an RBI square up maybe. Ozuna or Acuna, Ozuna, and Olson all have RBI squares on. So
Holy smokes.
that tells you what to expect from this game. I think it's Olson, but I think it's going to be a lot of people.
Is this about to look like the frickin' Mexico series?
Yeah, it just might. And I'm taking an earned run square today. I don't care. I'm taking Weaver over 3.5.
Okay. Wow, you're taking it. You don't give a hoot.
Yeah, if I get burned, I get burned by some unearned runs, but I think he gives up 5.
Okay. All right. Let's go. I found my nans. Menace, I found your DM. W's. I was thrown off. I couldn't find the name Menace to Society, brother. We found them. W's. Giveaway will go out this afternoon, brother. All right. Give me the over in that game. What other props do we like? Should we start building the prize picks as well? Mine as well.
I mean, we can circle back to it because there's probably there's a lot of guys we could go to in that game. So.
Okay. And then also I got to bring it up with Joey Votto plus 290. I mean, I know it's Joey Votto, big name, but come on now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Plus 290? What?
Kind of tough.
Played 3 games. 2 games this year.
Yeah, just a bit.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's big name Joey Votto and they're trying to bait people or I don't know, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Chat, we'll definitely get some squares going for that game. 100%. 100%. Gonna have to. Pitt versus Miami, Javon. Pitt's lost 10 in a row, but they got a Henry Nuke last night. They got something going for him. Finally got a Henry Nuke from the Rook. This kid's legit. He's putting up major league at-bats from day one. He's going to be a stud, professional hitter, beast. They got that going for him at least, but the Pirates can't buy a win right now, Javon. They are regressing like no other. Thoughts on this game today against Miami as we watch this Henry Nuke?
Yeah, I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it yet, whether it's in the first 5 or whether it's, even taking plus 1.5, but I like the Pirates today in some form or fashion.
Wow.
Which rarely am I backing Luis Ortiz because he's a guy I usually target for a lot of props like we did when we were in Milwaukee, seeing him pitch against some of those lefties, but he's terrible against lefties. And the only one that's really worth anything in this Marlins lineup is Luis Arias. Other than that, I mean, I don't mind any of these guys too, but you have Jesus Sanchez who's really struggling at the plate. You have Joey Wendell who's going to be at the back end of this lineup. I mean, you don't really have much. So I think he can be good today, especially with that slider that's been, even as he's struggled a little bit with his command, the slider's been really, really sharp when it's on. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him with a really good command of that against this Marlins lineup today. And I think he pitches okay. I don't think the Pirates do incredibly much against Luzardo. Like, I think if you want to play like a first 5 plus a half, they could keep it close. But the one thing up for them is, as bad as they've been over this stretch, they're still top 10 in WRC plus against lefties, which is crazy to think when they haven't scored a run in 6 years. But I think they can be okay. I think they can skirt by maybe like a 1-1, maybe even lead 2-1, like through the first 5. Play out similar to the last game. Maybe their bullpen blows it, but I think they keep it close.
Okay. Pirates ML or Pirates plus 1.5.
Yeah.
On a 10-game losing streak. I'll be rooting for you.
Yeah. I know.
All right. Minnesota versus Detroit. Kenta Maeda. Is this his first start back from injury? I don't think I've seen him pitch a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Going up against Joey Wentz, barely a favorite against the lowly Tigers, who are bad. I'm just going to say it. They're bad. Sometimes they're good. They went through hot stretches earlier this year, but right now they are atrocious. Should Minnesota be more of a favorite here, or is it because we don't really know what we're going to get out of Maeda? But I will say when he returned from injury earlier this year, he kind of pitched pretty well.
Yeah. I don't see many of his like props up or anything, so I don't know if that's just uncertainty or more of a signal of the fact that he's going to be like a little limited coming back. So maybe that has something to do with the line. Yeah, he's just got strikeouts up at 4.5. I don't think he has like pitching out lines on books or anything. I could be wrong on that if they put them up like recently. But yeah, I think he's going to be a little limited today. So I like the Tigers' bats. It's just hard to handicap them exactly against a length of Kenta Maeda that you don't really know. Then who are the Twins going to bring out of the bullpen, because their bullpen's been taxed lately. Plus, there's just weird situations with the Twins where they just, I don't know, they resign like all hope in a game, and then they bring in like a couple of those back end bullpen guys that are just terrible. So
Yeah.
like, we see one of those guys. I'd love that, but I do like some former Tigers bats today for sure. Yeah,
Maeda 15.5 outs.
It's probably a little limited. Yeah.
I don't mind the over. I don't love backing these offenses. Probably not going to play it. Maybe just a lean, but I would not mind this over. Opened at 8 up to 9. It is a little bit public though, so you are warned. It's definitely a little bit of a public play. Doesn't mean it's not hitting though. What's up, Delta? How we doing, Beast? Yeah, I kind of like the over. Gun in my head, that's probably what I would take. One of these two starters to get roughed up, which is more than feasible, and one of these two bullpens who's been lacking to get roughed up, which is more than feasible.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Seattle, Baltimore. Let's go to Camden. Logan Gilbert pitching against Gibby. Thoughts on the Orioles ML today after 10-0 win from Seattle last night?
Yeah, it's definitely hard to back Seattle after that game. But I don't want to fade them either necessarily, because Kyle Gibson, I mean, first of all, I've had trouble figuring him out, just like I think a lot of people have. He's been outperforming every metric in the world. But seeing 8 to 8.5 in this game is certainly interesting. I know we have, I think, good conditions in Camden today with the wind blowing out, I think, to the left, which if you look at like the history of the totals since the walls moved back and it's moving out to the left, that hasn't really affected many of the totals. So I think it's definitely saying something outside of the weather that there's going to be some runs in this game. So I don't mind taking the over. I think Kyle Gibson is finally going to have that start where he gets roughed up a little bit, but I don't know if I like Logan Gilbert today much at all either. So I kind of lean the over more so than a side here, just because it's a tough game.
Yeah. Orioles are definitely public. A little bit weird to see that line moving away from them. Definitely scares me for sure. Kind of like the Padres money line yesterday moving against them with a crummy team when the Giants won a 10-game win streak. I know the Orioles are not on that streak, but the Orioles are on fire recently and a very good baseball team. They've got a bazillion wins. The Mariners stink. So that's giving me bad vibes for sure. Not really sure why that line's moving, but Logan Gilbert probably should be a minus 120 favorite against Gibson. He might even supposedly be more of a favorite. I was expecting probably minus 130 or something like that.
Yeah, this too. I've seen a lot of props up for Cedric Mullins today, who he might be coming back from the IL. So if that line's moving and he ends up getting called up today and that line stays where it is, that'd be really, really interesting.
Yeah. Also, the line could be moving because maybe the books already know that Mullins is not playing today.
Could be, but he's been out for weeks now.
Forever. He's got to be coming back soon.
Yeah, he's going to come back either today or tomorrow. It seems like the plan is.
Well, I definitely don't want to bet the Orioles if one of the best players is also returning to the lineup.
Yeah.
So maybe just stay away from them today, unfortunately. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's talk Mets and let's talk Phillies, Javon. Senga versus Walker. On paper, there probably should be some runs here. The game's also on Apple TV. Phillies lineup's rolling. Mets lineup inconsistent, underperforming, but they got the pieces. They got the guys. Pete Alonso's back now, I believe. He's been playing for the last couple of days, returning from that injury super early. That guy's a beast. Javon, do you like the over in this game, or does it make a little too much sense here? I'm going to check the splits. If I was a betting man, I'd say the over is public in this game. It is, but the splits are kind of sharp. 44% of bets, 71% of handle on that over in this game between two trash can pitchers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this I wouldn't say it makes the slightest lick of sense. And somebody's saying the Phillies are not rolling. Yes, they are. They're playing their best ball right now. Who cares about two Braves games?
Mm-hmm.
But this game, yeah, all the props that are up for this game for one, plus Kodai Senga, remember that Himothy start he had this season where he got 9 Ks? Guess who it was against? It was against the Phillies. And you got Taijuan Walker here, who's been absolutely lights out in his last handful of starts. And you see this 9 to 9.5.
And it's on Apple TV, most importantly.
It is on Apple TV. How about it?
Holy smokes. Yeah, give me the over. One of these two offenses could hit this by themselves against one of these two starters. Straight up. Trent just nuked the Braves minus 1.5 and made a vid of it on Twitter. I bet Ace4. I bet.
20 years.
Schwarber can suck one.
Yeah, Schwarber, that was atrocious.
He can suck one.
At the plate. And then I'm glad he got his get back in the field.
Who's hitting nuke in this game? Pick 6. We're going to do prize picks after this when we get through the card. And we can talk about, what player props we like and who we think is going to go yard in these games. Yeah. Definitely we'll be targeting props in this game we just talked about, Mets Phillies. Definitely we'll be targeting squares in Reds Braves. Okay. A couple plays I already like on this board today. Much better than yesterday.
Yeah.
W's. Need locks. We got you, brother. Stick around. All right. We got about 40 minutes left. Going over bets. MLB. All right. Prize picks. We got it all. All right. Phillies ML, though, as a lead on the books?
Yeah, I mean, it probably would have to be. Yeah.
On the side?
Yeah.
Okay. But the over?
Yeah.
Okay. Same page. What about Dane Dunning going against Clark Schmidt? Look, I'm done with the Yanks. They stink. We're going to show some stats since Aaron Judge has been out. I mean, that lineup can't hit for shit. Rizzo, Stanton, LeMahieu. I mean, Donaldson needs to get DFA'd. He's atrocious. This team stinks. They are one of the worst offenses in baseball over the past month. I've been saying it for a while. They helped with the under last night offensively, but obviously gave up 10 runs themselves. That sucked. But, Javon, this team is piss poor. I'm done trying to fade them or bet on them now. All right? Me looking at this line, obviously it looks a little short with how bad the Yankees have been against Dane Dunning, who's been freaking lights out overall this season, against the Rangers, who are just a better team. They are. Dane Dunning should be at least minus 130, minus 140 against Clark Schmidt here. This is ridiculous. But it's the Yankees. So I'm done trying to figure out what lines are sharp and what are not in Yankees games, because they're always going to be a shorter dog than they should be. Or they're always going to be more of a favorite than they should be if they're a favorite. The Yankee tax. It's been a thing for years. I'm not fucking capping their games right now, dude. I can't do it.
Maybe. I don't know. Because, even though they got destroyed yesterday, they still won that series. And Josh, scroll up a little bit. Go to the series props. Because that's what stood out to me, because this line was also very, very short, like today.
I'd also like to see the series props for Atlanta and Cincinnati.
Yeah, The Reds are pretty much in the same place, no matter what.
Plus 160 to win the series. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a 3-game series?
Yeah, but look at the Yankees here. Minus 120. And tomorrow we have John Gray and Luis Severino, and then you get Garrett Cole Heaney. So Garrett Cole Heaney, I assume they're going to be favored, but John Gray, which I know he's slipped up a little bit because he had like a blister or something his last start, but I mean, he's overall been absolutely incredible for the last month or so, going up against Luis Severino. So to see the Yankees minus 120 in this series, it's got to tell you they're winning either today or tomorrow. And the line today, I haven't seen the line for tomorrow if it's out already, but the line for today stinks, frankly, especially coming off of that game yesterday where they didn't have a pulse from the first pitch of that game. So it certainly makes you think, and I'm not done with the Yanks.
Oh, God damn it, dude. And no, the line is not out for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's just a great pitch. That's just a great pitch. Like, what am I supposed to say after that, chat? When I say I'm done and then Javon gives that, what am I supposed to do? No, the problem is, Devin, I do like it. That's the issue here.
Yeah, it's the fact that he does like the Yanks. Unreal.
Look, Clark Schmidt has been nails recently. I'll give him that. He's been much, much better. Last couple starts, he's only given up 3 runs in both those starts combined against the Red Sox, who were pretty freaking on fire offensively during those 2 games in June. So maybe he locks in. I don't know what the total is. Looks like it's at 8.5. Does that look right to you?
Yeah, just about.
Okay. Not really moving much. Let's check the splits and see how public the Rangers or Yankees are today. Very curious. Looks like the Rangers are insanely public. Shocker. 76% of bets, 84% of handle on the ML, and a bunch of bets on the minus 1.5 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get a very rare spot where the Yankees aren't public. It's going to happen.
Kind of like a couple days ago when we took them, plus 1.5, and they won outright.
Yeah. Seeming pretty similar here.
Well, something about the Yankees and the squad rides, they just get it done. Yeah, I hate to agree with that comment. I really do. It hurts me to say, but I do agree. They do treat us pretty well overall. Not last night, but that's not really their fault. That's Josh Johnson's fault for being a human being.
Yeah, and I mean, this too. He got destroyed last game against the Rangers.
God damn it.
Absolutely destroyed. And guy who came in, this was a game where DeGrom pitched and he got hurt and, came out of the bullpen and threw 3 relatively decent innings.
Who?
Dane Dunning.
I bet. All right, give me the Yanks ML chat. Fuck it. I'm in. I mean, that opener's crazy. They opened up minus 115. Give me a break against Dane Dunning. And I know Dane Dunning, it's the same story every 5 days or whatever, where he opens up a little bit shorter than he should be, and then the line sprints towards the Rangers overnight. You know what I mean? It's happened every single game in his last couple starts. It's happening again, right? And the Rangers are very public, so the line's going to move. Javon is at the Reds.
We'll save that for a little bit later. But I ain't on the Reds, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though, Clark Schmidt, I'm looking at, because I was going off that comment where he got shelled last start and gave up 10 hits. This is the lowest I've seen his hit line, juice-wise, in quite some time. 5.5, juice the under, minus 165.
No way.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Also seeing there might be some rain. Any meteorologist in chat, show yourselves. Let us know if that game's happening tonight up in New York. Dylan Mann coming in with a sub bang, 10 months. Let's go. Let me know what you guys think about the Twins game, he says. Okay. I think we already covered it a little bit, but I'd say Tigers are a live dog, unfortunately, even though they've lost, I think, 10 games in a row. Tigers stink, and they should probably be more than plus 110 on the ML. So give me the over, give me the Tigers ML in that game. All right. Hot Sauce Dylan coming in with a sub bang. Dingers. Let's go, Beast. And Matt97. Sub bang as well. W's chat. Good work. Rain's supposed to happen around 9 p.m. Okay. I'm no mathematician, but that should give us some time. There. W's. Nuts on table for AJ Smith. Bro, they're both about to get lit up today. Both guys. It's going to be a home run derby. Should I put 2K on the Braves minus 1.5? Why don't you just take the over, dude?
Yeah. I don't know.
Damn it.
Why did he pick like what he's making a 20-unit bomb and he has to fade the hottest team in the league?
On an 11-game win streak, dude.
Granted, the Braves are also probably the second hottest team in the league win streak wise, but
Yep.
crazy play.
Okay. Reds is a play now. Sure, we got life, sad Cowboy fan. We got life. Sad Cowboy fan, did you know the Cowboys have only won 4 playoff games since 2020?
That's why he's sad.
The Cardinals have more playoff wins. Pretty crazy.
Wild.
Pretty crazy. Chat, you know I'm going to take any opportunity I can to roast. Come on now. Come on. They win by 1 and I'm in moose shit. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. The good thing is there should be plenty of runs in that game, so I doubt whoever wins by 1. All right?
Yeah, I could see it.
Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Let's talk about the game of the night. Caprillion versus Bassett. Nothing. Tough crowd today, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Jays. I just there's no way for me to back them. I'm not taking their team total over because I just hate Jays bets. But I mean, weirdly, I was looking into it when the Jays, like, could you think of like all their big hitters are Vladdy, Bichette, Springer, Chapman, all righties, even though some of them have been pretty inconsistent and bad, other than like Bo Bichette. They weirdly have the best offensive performances when they're facing a guy who cannot pitch to lefties, which Caprillion is that guy. It's like a lot of guys that are up for props today for hits, runs, and RBI. Brandon Belt, Dalton Varsho, Kevin Kiermaier, a lot of those guys. Like I think they destroy Caprillion today. Frankly, there's no way for me to back it. I don't want to, other than taking a couple of those guys for props.
Yeah, or just taking the over in the game. I wouldn't mind taking the over in the game.
Yeah, I like the over. It's just I like quite a few on the board today, so I'm not trying to. I'm trying to narrow down to the ones like I really, really like, and I'm a little bit scared of the Bassett revenge game. I will say that coming back and shoving against the A's, which I probably could, but I don't know. I'm just more on their bats.
Okay. It's the Commanders, brother. It's not that hard. That's their name. If you can't get that down by now, you got some bigger issues going on. All right. I hate the Commanders name jokes, man. The name's bad enough as it is. I don't need to hear people roasting about the 20 different names, dude. I don't need to hear that. God. If it was my choice, I'd get back to the Washington football team. I thought that was a cool name. We'll leave it at that. All right. But we're taking command. All right, boys. And we're taking command of the board today. How about that?
Why not?
Little Commander's motivation. All right. A couple more games here, boys. Wade Miley going against Biebs. Any thoughts on this game, Javon? Total at 8. Looks like it opened up at 8.5. Down a little bit. Lines moved 10-ish cents towards the Brewers in this spot with Wade Miley, who is doing it again. I mean, he's pretty freaking good and really old, and nobody cares. But he's pretty good. You like the Brewers on the ML today?
No, not really.
Okay.
I guess I do. I just don't love it. If I had to pick a side here, it would be Wade Miley, certainly, but I don't think I want to get involved with this game because, I mean, Shane Bieber, I'm not really sold on his little comeback. I just don't know if that regression – I don't even want to call it regression because it's more of what we've seen like the whole season until like the last handful of starts. I think he's going to return to that a little bit. I just don't know if it comes against the Brewers because their lineup is just so anemic at most times. So, like, I think Bieber pitches decently. I think Wade Miley also pitches decently. It's just going to be a crapshoot of a game. I'd lean the plus 120 on the Brewers.
Okay. Any angle on the total? Do you like the under in the game with it moving down? These guys haven't – this is the first game of the series, so we don't really have a sample size for other games. But do you lean the under?
I don't know. That under just seems so overly obvious to me. And I was talking about it with DeJohn in his stream. Like, the Brewers and Guardians are they seem like two of the most obvious under teams right now whenever they play anybody, and especially when they're playing each other with guys on the mound that have been – I know Shane Bieber carries the name value. Wade Miley has been sneakily good for whatever reason. It feels too obvious. That 8.5 opener feels a little high, if I'm being honest. I would have expected an 8 opener. Like, I'm not going to take the over because I'm not going to fade what may turn into like a full line move down to the under, but I can't take it either.
Okay. As the juice moves towards the under right in front of our faces.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to keep going that way.
Sure. Okay. Krabs, thoughts on Saudi ownership group buying the stake in the Wizards and Caps? Don't forget about the Mystics as well. Okay? Also the Mystics. Yeah, the NBA, or I think it was the NBA, a couple of these leagues have loosened their rules recently with all the live stuff going on, allowing stuff like this. So, yes, this was the first deal like this for an American professional sports team, but it sure as hell won't be the last. You're going to see this over the next couple of years. Groups from over there coming over and buying chunks of these teams, throwing ridiculous amounts of money. I think they gave us billions of dollars, a couple $1 billion here, and we're using it to build up our new broadcasting network in DC, which I'm cool with. Apparently, we hired Rachel Bonetta, the red-haired chick. Is she the red-haired chick who used to be on ESPN? Not Rachel Bonetta. What's her name? Who's the NBA chick who I'm talking about?
Rachel Nichols.
Rachel Nichols. Yes, they hired Rachel Nichols. They're building up their new broadcast or something. That is what they're using the money for. I'm cool with it as long as they're, putting the money into the team and making cooler shit. 100%. I don't care. Look, there's nothing we can do about it, Chad. I'm so done caring about the live stuff. At this point, go get your bag. It's going to be happening all throughout sports and every sport now. So it is what it is. I'm done worrying about it.
Mods.
Jimmy did the Wizards, I bet.
If Rachel Nichols is there, he just might.
Straight up. Well, she's from DC. So it makes sense. She's coming home.
Probably making secret trips.
I bet. She's like, this is a little closer to Miami than LA. Sure, I'll take it.
There you go.
Unbelievable. All right, chat. Couple more games here. I guess the lean in Milwaukee, Cleveland is the under, but we really don't love anything in that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep moving, boys. We've got Boston versus the White Sox, Bayo versus Giolito. Sure. Red Sox are hitting the ball a little bit. God, they're pitching so atrocious. It's impressive to me that they're over 500. But they can thank Justin Turner right now and that lineup who's heating up. And when they're on, they're on. And they're pretty hard to beat. Lines move 10 cents towards the Sox here. The White Sox have also showed a little bit of life recently, too. I'll give them that. And so is Giolito. Javon, do you like the over in this game? Bayo and Giolito have been a little too good. And I thought that opener at 9 kind of showed the hand a little bit from odds makers that we're going to get runs in this game. And I'm fine backing these two offenses with how they've been doing over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the 9 opener seems absolutely crazy.
Right.
Really hoping that we don't see an 8 down here. Because
I know, because it's moving to 8.5. Good point.
Yeah, it's moving to 8.5. It's juice the under now. But that 9 opener is crazy for how well that Bayo and Giolito have both pitched. Yeah, that included too. I mean, the Red Sox are missing. I don't know if that had something to do with the line move or when that was official. Because I don't think he pitched or played yesterday either.
Yeah.
But seeing that 9 opener is crazy. You're 100% right. Bayo's been incredible. I'm a big Brian Bayo guy, and Giolito has just beat the odds every single start. And yeah, Jordan Poole's gonna go off.
This is comment of the week. BTL comment of the week. Godsnife, congratulations. You've won. Comment of the week in BTL chat. Unbelievable. Yeah, Jordan Poole's about to drop 50 per game. Unbelievable. Yeah, back to business though, Javon Dio.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love this play. Let's see where the money's at. Over is a little public, and I'm seeing an up arrow next to bets. That's not good. 60% of bets, 65% of handle on the over here. That's a little surprising with how good Bayo and Giolito have been recently. I don't know, but it is Boston, and they're an over king.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. No pun intended.
Hope we get maybe if Bayo gets lit up, we get a Corey Kluber appearance, and he might hit the over by himself.
Sure. Fantasy scores for both pitchers is a little low, too. People are saying in chat. The people are talking, Javon. Let's take a peep. W analysis from chat. Yeah, I mean, Bayo's coming off a 51 piece, and he's at 30.5 against the White Sox. That's definitely a little bit low. And then you got Giolito, who I never really know how to freaking cap. I mean, he's at 29.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're that low. I don't know how much higher you could put Bayo. Maybe you give Giolito like another point or two. I don't think they're that low.
Okay.
You know who is low though? Peeking down there. It's JP France. I want to click on that chart, Josh.
JP.
Yeah, I bet.
Good. And we're gonna get to that in a minute here. 100%. I want to talk about that game. I'm happy you brought that up.
Yeah.
Happy you brought that up. We got the same ideas with that one. All right.
Yeah.
Chat. Let's keep moving. He's getting rocked. Yeah, and also Kluber's on the IL. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
3 more games, chat, and then we're going to do prize picks, and then we're going to do squad ride. All right? WBTL Friday. Let's have a freaking day, boys. Angels, Colorado. I know Trent is splooging with Shohei playing in course this week, Javon. Any take on Sandoval, Freeland, total 11.5? Probably should be, although these pitchers aren't atrocious. They are sometimes. But overall, they've been okay. Total's going to be at 11.5, though, or 12 probably, especially with how good the Angels' offense has been recently, and Shohei on fire even against a lefty. So Trent brought it up earlier. I think it was him saying Shohei at 10 fantasy score is crazy. Even playing in Coors against a shit pitcher, I do still think that's crazy against a lefty. So I would not mind backing that today. It's honestly a good day to take Shohei. Maybe he just takes a lefty yard again like he did twice last week when I was down there in Dallas. It seems like he doesn't mind hitting nukes off of lefties.
No, yeah, it really doesn't even matter at this point.
Doesn't matter, right?
Splits aren't real for Ohtani. It's absolutely
insane. Dude. It's is he dialed in or not? Is his swing right or not? You know what I mean?
I mean, shit, I don't even think it matters then. I mean, the game that we went to, he didn't touch a baseball for the entire game until he hit that opposite field tag. Like
that was still the craziest home run ever, dude. Holy smokes.
That was nuts. But yeah. I mean, definitely looking at this game, like I know the line is moving, I'd say towards the Rockies a little bit since this morning, but I like the Angels bats. I probably am going to square up here with the Angels on the ML. Freeland's been good, and he's especially been good at Coors, but it's been very fortunate matchups. I'll say that. I was looking at some of his stats, and every single team that he'd want to face in Coors, he's faced in Coors. Like all the teams that are really, really tough matchups for him, he's faced on the road. So his numbers are a little inflated. You can look at him with a grain of salt like that. The Angels, too, are a really good sinker slider team against a guy who doesn't strike many guys out. So, like, it's been a stark difference. Like, they were struck out a lot against, like, a Jesus Luzardo, who's a sinker slider guy, but with high strikeout potential from the left side. But a Kyle Freeland, who has, like, one of the lowest strikeout rates in the league from qualified starters, I think you're going to have some success off him. And weirdly, I mean, there's a couple weird guys. There always is when you go to Coors. Kevin Padlo, if he's going to play, he's up for 1.5 bases on a run. He's like 4 for 36 in the last 2 years combined. He's been up for one game this season, and he went 0 for 3 this week. If he ends up playing, usually they have weird squares up. That one's ridiculous. The guy who's like the most juice for hits, runs, and RBI in this game, too, is Brandon Drury, who I think has a beautiful matchup here, completely unbiased. I don't think he's up for anything on prize picks, but probably my guy to target there. But I think the Angels bats are going to be just fine today. I don't even think Sandoval is really a part of anything for me here.
Yeah. Angels love hitting lefties as well. Not the best left-hitting team in baseball, but they're up there.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Chats, some bad news. No PLL this weekend or next weekend, unfortunately. They are off for the World Nationals tournament that they're playing in right now. Anybody in chat know if you can bet on that? I couldn't find lines for it, but no PLL Megalodons this weekend or next weekend. They're off for some Worlds tournament. All these countries are competing against each other. There's got to be a lax head in chat who knows if we can bet on that shit or not. Let me know. All right? And Clam, we got you, bro. We're going to go over prize picks. Let's go over these last 2 games though first, and then we're going to hop into the prize picks board, okay? Nats versus Padres, sure. And look, chat, you know this is a majority baseball stream right now during the dog days, and this might not be betting content here, but you guys got to watch it. Davey Martinez with an all-time ejection yesterday. I mean, look, I don't blame them. Those umpires were dog shit, and this pitch got called a ball. It was called a strike earlier on C.J. Abrams, I believe, or maybe Riley Adams. And we'll pull the sound up once Davey starts getting at it in here. But
here we go.
This
Davey,
was wild. Davey Martinez chirping from the dugouts saying, you fucking called that a strike against our guys in the last inning. The umpire's saying, shut the hell up, right? We could skip through a little bit here probably. Here he comes.
This may not end well for Davey.
May not end well.
But he's still hot about Abrams at bat and others.
Yeah, the Rabbit Ears come out pretty hot right here when there's a little bit less of a crowd, sparse crowd.
All right, he's walking away, hasn't gotten ejected yet.
There he goes.
Okay, you're done. He's out of here. Gets ejected walking away. I always think it's soft for refs to eject people when their umpires are walking away or coaches are walking away. And then Davey starts kicking the freaking plate. Next thing you know, he is fucking parallel on the ground.
Now.
He's got belt buckle to dirt. I've never seen a coach get on the ground like that and fucking visualize catching a ball almost on the dirt. That was absolutely electric. That is 3 weeks of shit baseball pent up in Davey's head and him letting him out. And he, put on a freaking show.
Yeah. And speaking of shit baseball, we got Patrick Corbin on the mound today.
Yeah. Are we
Well,
squaring up?
I want to bet.
Squaring up?
No, I'm not fading Patrick Corbin today. You want to know why?
Why?
So we have the Padres coming off of. I know they got washed in that series, but they just destroyed one of the hottest teams in the league, put up 10 runs, and click on that game, Josh, and go to pitchers props because all of them are ridiculous.
Okay.
You know how we always see Corbin up for 3.5 earned runs and 6.5 hits?
Yeah, don't say he's at 2.5.
Well, he's at 5.5 hits and 2.5 earned runs. How about it? Which is weird against one of the hottest teams in the league against left-handed pitching in the Padres, who are coming off of a double-digit run performance against the Giants pitching staff, who's also been one of the best in the league in the past month, maybe really the entire start of the season. So, why? Absolutely why? We got Logan Webb is pitching today, and he's up for 6.5 hits. You're telling me Patrick Corbin's at 5.5 against the Padres? Doesn't make much sense to me.
I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm in a dream right now.
Yeah.
The Padres been striking out a lot recently. Just curious.
I'll tell you what. Patrick Corbin's also at 4 Ks on Prize Picks, which he's been.
No way. He's never been over 3.5 this year.
Yeah, he's been hanging 3.5. We got Kodai Senga, like Phil's saying, up for 3.5 earned runs, coming off of 1 hitting the Phillies, and Corbin's still up for 2.5. Give me a break.
You've got to be shitting me, man.
He's up for 17.5 pitching outs too. I bet.
After they just put up a 10-piece
against the Giants.
Against a team on a 10-game win streak, I fucking bet. Is this a Nats ML go for the jugular? No need for that run. MLB, Moneyline, POD, VIP Premium, but free today?
It could be. Could just be you're getting plus 115 on the 1.5 too. Maybe just do it there. Or, you could do first 5 plus, I don't even know if you need a half. They'll probably give you the run line 1.5 there too for a decent play. Eliminate the shit bullpen.
They'll give you whatever you want to put your actual hard-earned money on the Nationals. You can pick your own line.
Yeah.
That's how bad they've been playing.
This total's gone down to 8-2 some places. I know it's hanging at a juicy 8.5 under here on DK, but yeah, a lot of his lines just make absolutely no sense.
First half spreads. I'm seeing plus 1.5 for minus 120. I'm seeing plus 0.5 for plus 150. Is it just a first 5 bet here, Javon? And I don't want to overthink it, but I also don't want to underthink it. Do we just cut the shit, bet based off of that angle alone, and take Corbin to do his job for 5 innings and not have to deal with our atrocious bullpen and the Padres bullpen that sometimes is really good?
The Padres bullpen has also been pretty shit in the last handful of weeks, to be fair. So, I don't know. Maybe you don't need to get cute.
Let's not get cute, Cody says.
Chat, what are we thinking? What are we thinking here?
Game under.
Yeah, you'd have to lead the under.
35% of bets, 51% of handle on the under 8.5. And I'm seeing some 8s floating around, Javon. So that total's moving down. All the bets on the over. And Patrick Corbin pitching. And all the props are pointing to a Patrick Corbin gem today. Under could be a play. Nats ML could be a play. Nats first 5 could be a play. Holy smokes. I don't know what the best look is. My gut's telling me first 5 plus 0.5. But my heart is telling me Nats ML for all the coins plus 240. So I'll let you make the call because I can't bet Nats games.
You can bet Nats game. Lane Thomas home run as well, of course.
Shout out Lane Train. Absolute fucking beast.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Houston and LA so we have time for our prize picks.
Yeah.
You were mentioning JP France's fantasy score was a little bit low. Well, good, because Sheehan's minus 145 against the Astros, and the Dodgers haven't been doing anything special or playing well. And I think that's a pretty fat line, even with the Dodgers. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It's not it kind of fits the system of, not that this works every single time. We talked about it a couple times, but he also has pitching outs up, this is probably the lowest line I've seen with the pitching outs up on prize picks as well. Baseball Brain tells you JP France has a really, really tough matchup today too. Evan Sheehan is coming off of like his little no-hit bid in his debut. So, there is that, but still seeing, minus 145, minus 150 against the Astros, who I know they haven't been playing fantastic in the slightest. They've been injured, whatever, but that is a shit ton of respect. Shit ton of respect. So I'm with it.
Yeah, him throwing a no-no makes me want to just stay off that, though.
Yeah, this under is very corporate for whatever reason today. But
Dodgers team total set at 4.5 after scoring 4 in the last 18 inning games versus France and a sub-2 road ERA, I bet.
yeah,
All right, I'm back. Dodgers on.
yeah, you're back. So back.
Arizona, San Fran, any leans before we move? I really don't.
Snakes plus 1.5.
Okay.
Think
Davies plus
Logan
1.5.
Webb. Yeah, I think Logan Webb gets hit up a little bit, but I don't trust these offenses to do all that much. I think it's going to be a close game, though.
Okay. Let's jump in the prize picks board, Javon. We have a bunch of angles we like. Let's start with Atlanta Cincy. Do we square up and take, who was it, Olsen that's up for 17 things on prize picks? Should we take something with him, or was there another guy?
I like Ozuna best out of the Braves in that game, personally.
Well, you know what, Javon, I'm going to trust. You want to take his 2.5 hit run RBIs, or you want to take his half RBI?
It's a great question. I'd probably rather take his 2.5 hits run than RBI.
Okay. He'll probably get one of each. Diversify.
Probably.
1 hit, 1 run RBI.
Yeah, why not? That's what happens when you hit a ball over the wall.
Anybody, like last night. Bro, he sneakily has like 15 home runs this year.
Yeah, I think he's been mashing.
What about on the Reds? Any guys you like on the Reds?
I didn't even look to see who we have up for the Reds.
Bro, I can't stop thinking about Joey Votto plus 190. And he's up for hit run RBI on prize picks.
It's kind of crazy.
That's kind of crazy. Has he been up on prize picks yet for a hit run RBI? I know he's only played in 3 games though, but probably not.
Yeah, he has. Okay. I think he was
All right.
up that last game and he didn't hit. So I don't know. It's weird.
Do you like
No.
Votto or no?
I like it. I don't love it. I'd probably have to see the lineup. Because if they have TJ Friedel up, do they have him up if he's going to be leading off? I don't think he's up. Somebody was saying that in chat, but yeah, it's kind of take your pick for this game. To be honest with you, I don't think you're going to get many L's, many unders.
Okay.
So I'll wait for the line of the Reds, but I think Ozuna's the play, and
All
Luke
right.
Weaver 3.5 is the play.
Okay. You like Ozuna though over that?
Yeah.
Okay. We move. What was one of the next games we wanted to talk about where we saw a bunch of runs? Was it which one was it?
Which one? The Mets Phillies.
Yes, Mets Phillies. Is there a Met or a Philly we want to put in here?
I definitely want to put a Philly in here. Obviously, it's not named Kyle Schwarber.
Could also take Senga hits allowed or fade him or take his under fantasy score. They don't have it. They have his hits allowed though.
What's it at?
5.5. Higher than what he's been giving up recently.
5 even. Well,
Trey Turner as well is up for 3 things.
yeah, that's very weird. It's
We
very weird.
could square up and take Trey Turner TBs. He's been an ass. Or just fantasy score because he's probably going to steal if he gets on base. Not overthinking. Wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking fantasy score.
Let's
Anytime
do
I
it.
probably want to take Trey Turner, I probably want to take his fantasy score because it's
Okay.
going to hit him everything else hits, realistically.
Let's do it, boys. Let's take Trey Turner fantasy score. Okay. What else? Anyone in the Texas Yankees game you wanted to take? Rangers, Yanks.
Yes, actually. I want to take Harry Bonds today.
Bader.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take somebody against Dunning. He's the one
Okay.
that kind of caught my eye here. But they have a couple guys up that are pretty interesting, I would say. You wanted to search Yankees, Josh, and see everybody who's up. Because it's definitely an interesting assortment of people. I was looking at like just the prices on a lot of these props, and not that Glaber is up for just hits, runs, and RBI, but it's weird as he's been, him being minus 145, minus 150 to go over hits, runs, and RBI. I thought was a little weird. I mean, I wouldn't mind a look at Stanton or LeMahieu, who haven't been up for this all that often. I know Stanton's been up for it a little bit since he came back, but DJ's been few and far in between. But I think I just want to go with Harry Bonds here.
Okay, I'm in. I'm down to take a bat in that game. If that's your guy, we'll lock it in. All right. What about Patrick Corbin? God forbid we put him in here. Jesus
God forbid.
Christ. How would you take it? His strikeouts, his pitching outs. That's all we
Dude.
got.
That pitching outs is weird.
17.5. Like what, dude?
It's not like he hasn't been like hanging around or hitting it. It's just more so the fact that it's getting put up.
And our bullpen's also so taxed. They're just going to let him out there to cook.
Yeah, I mean,
You want to take? I think that hits no matter what. If he gives up 3 or 4 runs, or if he deals, I think either way, the Corbin square is going to hit for that. The strikeouts worries me though.
strikeouts
But it's
is
also
worried
higher.
about it. Yeah, it is. It's at 4 for God knows what reason.
Yeah. You want to just go pitching outs and call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Anybody else we missed who you were thinking of before we do the squad ride?
I mean, we could throw JP Francis under in there.
We could throw JP Francis under in there. We could also take Shohei if we wanted to make it a 6-piece.
Yeah, I mean, if we're taking anything in that game, I would probably wait because I really want to put Kevin Padlo in there if he plays.
Is he up on the board?
He's up on the board. It's just like he's Kevin Padlo, so you don't really know if he's going to be in the lineup or not. But
Well, if we don't love anything else, we already have 5 picks. We might as well just put Padlo in there if you love him. And if he gets scratched, he gets scratched. This is a 5-piece. If he plays, then great.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
You want to take his run or do you want to take his TBs?
Take his run. Skin
I
out.
agree. Okay. Chat, little BTL 6-piece, hold the fry. Could end up being a 5-piece. There's some rain going around. Maybe Padlo's not in the lineup, but here's some squares we like. Take it or leave it. All right. Mix and match with yours if you want. We're going Azuna, more than 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Trey Turner, more than 7.5 fantasy score. Harrison Bader, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. We got Patrick Corbin, more than 17.5 pitching outs. That's disgusting. JP France, less than 23.5 fantasy score. That's so low. And Kevin Padlo, more than half a run.
So disgusting.
6-piece, hold the fry, chat.
So disgusting. And Devin, the only reason that's not in here is because we have Ozuna. It's just I don't see a world where Luke Weaver shoves today, unfortunately. I mean, good for Trent, but I think the Reds bats are going to have to keep him in it, if anything.
Somebody said Lane Thomas. No, after hitting a nuke last night, his fantasy score is bumped down to 6.5 today, so I'm good on that. But I don't hate it. I just don't love it though.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably getting the Musgrove tax a little bit.
Good point.
It's not Tommy Henry, but
Good point.
yeah, I don't think the Nats really hit all that well today. I just think it's going to be a gross, maybe slower game. Corbin does like just enough to like keep them in it.
Yeah.
And then it's the end.
Okay. Well, Javon, you know what time it is, brother. It's about that time.
It is.
Friday afternoon chat. We need one more squad ride to build bankroll before the weekends. If you guys aren't tailing the squad rides every day, what are you doing? I don't even care that we're coming off a loss. All right, 2-2 this week. Let's finish the week in the green and find a winner for today. All right, boys. Let me know what your favorite play is of the day in chat. Favorite MLB play, let me know. Go, go, go. Hurry up. Javon, are we putting the Nats in there?
Yeah, I mean, you can make the gut call of how we do it.
You want me to make the gut call?
I want you to make the gut call here.
Jesus Christ. Well, let's start with some bets we already know we're putting in. Atlanta, Cincy over.
Yeah, if that's how we want to play it, for sure.
Did you want to play team total over for the Braves?
Yeah, probably not with Trent on Braves minus 1.5, respectfully. We'll just go with the over.
Okay. What else? We got Boston over. Boston,
Yeah,
Chicago over.
Like that too. Probably like the Phillies one more.
Like the Phillies over more. New York
Yeah,
Mets. We might need them both.
we just might. We just might keep that
All
one in
right.
the back pocket though. We put the Yanks in there.
Yanks, I know.
Yeah,
Okay. And we're gonna go Nats plus 1.5 on the road. One of the best teams against the spread in baseball. They lead baseball in 1 and 2 run losses this year. I don't even know how to explain, but it's just how it is. Low scoring game, road team, plus 1.5. Hopefully the Padres don't get in the bat. They win by 1.
there we go.
You cool with that?
Yep, of course.
All right. Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners. Javon, unless there's something else you like better. But right
Yeah.
now we've got Atlanta, Cincy over 11. We've got Boston, Chicago over. We've got the Mets and Phillies over. We've got the Yankees money line, gross. And we've got Nats plus 1.5. See, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah, you don't know ball. He bitches at everything. I mean, respect. I mean, this was really my doing more than anything. I've been giving the Nats more than grabs.
I know, 100%. I told you guys I put them in timeout.
Yeah, grabs doesn't bet them unless
I haven't bet the Nats ML in forever. I'm getting the freaking itch, man. Getting the itch.
Yeah.
All right, we got some sub bangs as well. Mahit 18 sub bang. Let's freaking go on Prime W's. We got Dylan Man coming into the sub bang. 10 months, baby. Let me know what you guys think about the Twins game. Definitely already read that. Awesome. Too late. Words already came out of my mouth. Chat, get the squad ride in there. Get the votes up. All right. The poll is in the Twitch chat. We got about 2 minutes. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Hurry up, go. Shocker with this vote winner. Seems like you guys want to watch the Reds and Braves play today, huh? I
Yeah.
don't blame you.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
I
this
don't
is going to
blame
be I think it's just going to be a square series of overs. I think it's going to be. These pitching staffs are tough.
Well, unders have been hitting nearly 60% this season, so overs got to start coming through.
Yeah, hoping so. I mean, the fact that this, I know it's down to 11, but with it opening 11.5, I think that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I 100% agree. Archie, here's the Prize Picks entry. We got Azuna. We got Turner. We got Bader. Patty C's on the track. JP France. Oh, where did the 6-piece go? Prado. There he is. W. Josh, good work today, brother. And you guys know we'll tweet out the entry as well on the BTL Twitter. You guys better be following the BTL Twitter. You better be engaging with it. If we're giving out winners for free and not selling them on freaking Dub Clubs or VIPPream.com, give us some likes. All right. Tail the squad rides, most importantly, because they hit. All right, boys. 98, 64, and 3. And although it might not seem like it this week, squad rides are by far the best bet out there that you can tell. All right. Tail responsibly as always. Okay. Picks will always be free. And hopefully they keep hitting at this rate because we are 34 games over 500, chat. Who else is doing that? Anybody? Who else is doing that? And who else lets chat pick the winners? I'll tell you what, nobody's doing that shit. And I'll tell you what, I'm tailing them. Yep. Mush knows.
I'm telling.
Sure. London series has a total at 14.5. Is it another Mexico type game? Yep. Last time they played there, the fences were too short, and it was a home run derby type atmosphere. They're moving the fences back 7 feet, though. But, I mean, if a home run drops in between that 7-foot wall, you charge it to the game. I still like the over. I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me runs. You know what's good for baseball. You know they're giving them the juice baseballs. You know there's going to be runs. Okay. What's the squad rides? Well, you got to vote for it in chat, my man. And it's the over in Atlanta, Cincy. Bang. 99 votes. Sure. Love it. Fave 2-3 squares of the 6-piece. I'd say my favorite square that we came up with is probably Trey Turner and Javon's. What's yours?
Ozuna and that, but I mean, I really like Luke Weaver's over earned runs too. Kind of goes hand in hand. Can't play them together, but those are my favorite.
W's chat. We got the squad ride for a beautiful Friday night. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Okay, rest up, recover, get ready for the week next week because you know we'll be back on Monday. You know we'll be here, same time, same place. Okay, squad ride over 11 in the Reds Braves game. Let's cash tonight and end the week profitable and make it 35 games over 500 on the squad ride. No one else is doing this. You guys keep picking winners. Let's fucking keep it up. All right, boys, why not us? Have a great weekend. All right. Enjoy the College World Series. We'll catch you, boys.